Behold, the Great Pyramids of Giza. For thousands of years, they've stood as silent sentinels on the edge of the desert, defying time itself. Their sheer scale is almost impossible to comprehend. The Great Pyramid alone is made of over 2 million stone blocks, some weighing as much as a small elephant. They are monuments of such precision and grandeur that they continue to baffle us. It's the ultimate ancient mystery. How did a civilization from over 4,500 years ago, without the help of cranes, steel, or modern machinery, build these wonders of the world? Was it brute force, lost technology, or something else entirely? Today, we're peeling back the layers of sand and time to uncover the incredible story of how the pyramids were really built. Let's dive in. For centuries, the popular image of pyramid construction was one of immense suffering. Countless slaves whipped into submission under the harsh Egyptian sun. This dramatic picture, popularized by Hollywood epics, is powerful. But modern archaeology tells a very different, and frankly, a much more fascinating story. The truth began to emerge with a groundbreaking discovery not far from the pyramids themselves: the remains of an entire village. This wasn't a slave camp. It was a bustling, organized settlement, home to the very people who built these monuments. Archaeologists unearthed bakeries capable of producing thousands of loaves of bread daily, fish processing facilities, and evidence of a protein-rich diet, including beef, mutton, and goat. These were not the rations of slaves. They were the provisions for a skilled, respected workforce. These workers were free men and women, citizens of Egypt who came from all over the kingdom to contribute to a national project of immense religious and cultural significance. They were organized into highly efficient crews, with names like the Drunkards of Menkaure or the Friends of Khufu. These weren't just catchy titles. They fostered a sense of team spirit and competition. Graffiti left by these teams inside the pyramids themselves gives us a glimpse into their pride and dedication. So, forget the myth of forced labor. The pyramids weren't built by slaves. They were built by a proud and professional workforce, a testament to what a unified society can achieve. They were skilled craftsmen, engineers, and laborers who were fed, housed, and honored for their monumental work. Now that we know who built them, let's tackle the how. It all starts with the stone. The main body of the pyramids is made of massive limestone blocks, quarried right there on the Giza Plateau. You can still see the scoop marks where these millions of blocks were hewn from the earth. Imagine the scene: teams of workers, using simple copper chisels and wooden mallets, methodically cutting deep channels into the bedrock. They would then drive wooden wedges into these channels and soak them with water. As the wood expanded, the immense pressure would crack the stone, freeing a massive block. It was a slow, painstaking process that required incredible skill and patience. But the most prized stone, the beautiful red granite used for the inner chambers and sarcophagi, came from much farther away from Aswan, over 800 kilometers to the south. Getting these colossal blocks, some weighing up to 80 tons, all the way to Giza, was one of the greatest logistical challenges of the ancient world. How did they do it? The answer lies with the lifeblood of Egypt, the Nile River. The ancient Egyptians were master sailors and engineers. They would load these gargantuan stones onto massive wooden barges during the annual Nile flood. The floodwaters would rise, allowing them to float these barges much closer to the pyramid construction site than would be possible today. But what about moving the blocks on land? A recent and truly remarkable discovery gives us a crucial clue. The diary of Mira, a 4,5-year-old papyrus logbook, is the oldest in existence. It was written by an official who oversaw a team of elite workers. Mira describes in detail how his crew transported limestone blocks from the quarries at Tura to Giza by boat. Even more fascinating, experiments have shown that a small team of men could pull a massive stone block mounted on a wooden sled across the desert sand. The secret: water. By wetting the sand in front of the sled, they dramatically reduced the friction, making it possible to glide these multi-ton blocks with surprising ease. It wasn't magic, it was ingenious, practical physics. So, the workers are in place, and the blocks are arriving at the construction site. Now comes the biggest question of all. How did they get those heavy stones all the way to the top of a structure that would eventually stand nearly 150 meters tall? This is where theories and debates have raged for centuries. The most classic idea is a long, straight, external ramp, starting from the ground and extending upwards as the pyramid grew. While simple to imagine, the physics just don't add up. For the Great Pyramid, such a ramp would have had to be over 1.5 kilometers long and would have contained more material than the pyramid itself. It's just not practical. This led archaeologists to consider other possibilities. What about a ramp that spirals around the outside of the pyramid, like a corkscrew? This would use far less material and keep the ramp's gradient manageable. We can see evidence of similar ramp structures at other, smaller pyramids in Egypt. It's a compelling theory, but it also has problems. A ramp like this would have obscured the corners and sides of the pyramid, making it incredibly difficult for the builders to maintain the precise angles required for a perfect pyramid shape. Precision was everything to the ancient Egyptians. The base of the Great Pyramid is level 2 within just a couple of centimeters. They wouldn't have compromised that accuracy. This brings us to one of the most exciting and widely discussed modern theories, the internal ramp, proposed by French architect Jean-Pierre Houdin. This theory suggests that after building the lower third of the pyramid with an external ramp, the builders transitioned to an internal one. Imagine a spiral tunnel, a roadway inside the pyramid itself, corkscrewing its way up just behind the outer casing stones. This would allow workers to haul blocks up from the inside, leaving the exterior faces clear for the surveyors and masons to ensure perfect alignment. Small gaps or notches left in the corners of the pyramid could have served as turnaround points for the sleds. This theory elegantly solves many of the problems posed by other models. It accounts for the incredible precision, the logistics of material, and even explains some strange anomalies detected inside the pyramid by modern scanning technologies. While we don't have definitive proof yet, the internal ramp theory is a powerful reminder that the Egyptians' cleverness may have been even more sophisticated than we ever imagined. So, when we look at the pyramids, what are we really seeing? We're not looking at the work of aliens or a lost civilization with magical powers. We are seeing the peak of human achievement. The pyramids are a monument to what people can accomplish when they work together with purpose and ingenuity. They represent an astonishing feat of project management, social organization, resource allocation, and engineering brilliance. From the skilled laborers living in their thriving village, to the quarrymen cutting stone with simple tools, to the engineers designing ingenious transport and construction systems, every aspect of this project was meticulously planned and executed. The pyramids were more than just tombs for pharaohs. They were a national project that unified a kingdom. They were a staircase to the heavens, a physical manifestation of belief, and a symbol of permanence in a world of change. As the sun sets over the Giza plateau, casting long shadows from these timeless giants, we're left with a profound sense of awe, not just for the scale of the structures, but for the incredible human spirit that built them. The mystery isn't about who built the pyramids, but how they inspire us to see the limitless potential within ourselves. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If you found this as fascinating as I do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the greatest mysteries of history. Let me know in the comments which ancient wonder you'd like to explore next. See you in the next video.